Oh, well, in the very beginning, in New York, before he got ill, he had us working on a story of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. And so he was describing to us, he was really keen on having this into a slideshow for children. And this was his vision, which eventually manifested. And so he had us working on this, and he would tell us all about the poses. He posed for Hiranyakashipu on one leg, and he used to pose for Lord Nrsingadev, and he loved to pose for Lord Nrsingadev. He would come in at least once a day and do a roar. I mean, he would come in and describe how Lord Nrsingadev, and his eyes would get big, and you could see the white of above coming out of the column. This was his delight. He enjoyed this very much. And once Jodharani had him pose, he wrapped a dhoti, a white dhoti, and then into a threefold bending posture, so that we could see how the pleats fell. So he posed like Krishna. And he was very, he was right there watching us, seeing what we were doing. He would come in and see how we were doing it. And
so one day they said that in Montreal they found there was a cockroach in the quarters. So then Prabhupada took the cockroach up in his hand and opened the window, and then he told the cockroach, "Here, I'm giving you the whole world. Now you can enjoy it." And he threw the cockroach out of the window and closed it.
I remember Prabhupada in Los Angeles when I was there, how he was trying to teach us every morning the Sanskrit. It was Sri Upanishad in the mornings in L.A. And, Om Purnamada Purnamidam, like that. And we would stumble along and nobody would get the verses. They wouldn't. So after some time, like maybe a week, Prabhupada, and he would sit back and he would wait for us to say it, and we wouldn't say it, Or we would stumble, and I think Jayatirtha, a couple of people were learning. So Prabhupada said, these books I'm writing, he said, they're not just for selling. Prabhupada said, they're for you. You should learn this. So he was and he went on how we should learn Prabhupada said, like a lawyer knows the law books, we should know. There was another time Prabhupada was reading from Krishna book, and sometimes he would read in the evening, he would add things that aren't in the text. Like he was describing how when Narada Muni comes and warns Kamsa that Kamsa is waiting for the 8th son to be born, so he's letting the other sons go. And Narada Muni was like catalyst. He wanted to speed up the appearance of Krishna. So Prabhupada was describing. So Prabhupada said that Narada Muni showed him how to count. Narada Muni said, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what if you count this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first becomes the 8th. Or what if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? In this way, by doing all these things with his fingers, Kamsa became bewildered that any son could be the 8th son, and then he wanted to kill them all.
Once I had these, there was this picture of Prahlad sitting in the boiling oil, and so I had to, come up with some demons. Like I didn't know what demons were like. So I think I probably dug them out of a Hieronymus Bosch painting. Somehow I got these demons in there. And so I asked Prabhupada, after I did them, got them drawn in, were they okay? And he says, oh yes, this is very good. And he says, there are such demons, they're like this. And he is saying, yes, even on this planet, there are such demons. And I said, oh, really? I didn't know that. And he looked at me and he said, there are a lot of things you do not know.
So then somehow we got one doctor had just built a brand new house which he was going to make into a clinic, and no one had moved in it yet. So he thought that, okay, I'll give it to you for 6 months. It'll be auspicious. Some sadhus will come and stay in my new clinic, my new house. So then we had a place to invite Prabhupada. So in the meantime, Prabhupada had left America and gone to Japan. So we sent him the message that now we had a place for him separate. So then Prabhupada said, okay, I'm coming. And we made a big reception in the airport in Calcutta. We had the newspapers, we had all the media was there. It was a big event. In fact, a whole truckload of Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees came for a chanting kirtan to receive Prabhupada. Then we were asked to go and invite everyone. Before Prabhupada came, we went around and invited all of his godbrothers who would like to come to receive him, because here he was like a conquering Gaudiya Vaishnava missionary who had spread Krishna consciousness in places where no one had ever even ventured to go before, and was coming back successfully. And one godbrother, Puri Maharaj, he said, "Oh yes, I would like to go." But when he said that, I didn't really know much about the internal workings or the politics or whatever that was going on between the different Gaudiya Mat people. But one Grihastha devotee came up to him and said, "No, Maharaj, how can you go? You are an older godbrother to him. You took initiation before he did. You took sannyas before he did. So you cannot go to him. He should come to meet you." I said, it's kind of strange. I mean, what does it matter if you were initiated a few days earlier or later? Someone had done such a wonderful preaching. So in the end, none of Prabhupada's godbrothers actually came to the airport to meet him, but some disciples of his godbrothers came to meet him. So Prabhupada noted that he was not really happy that none of his godbrothers came to meet him. And then one of the godbrothers' disciple invited that your godbrother's waiting for you at his temple. He has a feast for you there. So he wants you to go from the airport to his temple. And then Prabhupada, he became very grave. And then he said, "Let us go in the car." Of course, before that we had a big reception, a press conference and everything, and there was an arti in the VIP lounge. He didn't have to go through any customs, immigration. He went straight to the VIP lounge, and then when he came out, we had a big, it was a Cadillac actually. Somehow one life member had a Chevrolet or Cadillac, a very big car for India, American car. And so then Prabhupada went in that, and then they invited that you come to the temple of his godbrother. When he went in the car, and then he said, "Take me to your house. I will not go to that temple. You can go later and bring the prasadam that they've made and bring it to the house. You go straight to our house."
I remember Achyutananda was in India at that time, that we were in Montreal. This one just comes to my mind. Achyutananda was in India at that time, and he was there with a young brahmachari named Brishikesh, I think. Can't remember what his other name was. Anyway, somehow or other, this boy had gone to the ashram of Ban Maharaj and taken reinitiation from Ban Maharaj. And Prabhupada was extremely upset. I didn't really understand why, but he explained to me. He said, "Of course this boy is an American boy. This American boy is a fool. He doesn't know anything. It's not his fault. He's just a foolish youth. But Ban Maharaj, he is responsible. He knows that this is what he is saying by doing this is he is saying that I am not a bona fide spiritual master." So he was extremely upset by this. I actually had never seen him that upset, because it was dealing with a kind of Vaishnav etiquette that I didn't really understand.
And Tejas told me a story that when Prabhupada came to Delhi, he hadn't been in Delhi for a long time, and they had a reception in the airport, and I think the mayor was there, and so many big life members, and they had a big arti, and they had the Vyasa-san in the airport and everything. Prabhupada came, and he came to sit down. Tejas was just about to garland Srila Prabhupada. Everyone was there, gathering. Prabhupada said, "Stop." Prabhupada said, "What was," and everyone's listening. Prabhupada said, "What was the collection last month?" Tejas said some number. Prabhupada said, "How much did you send to my book fund?" And he gave a number which was 50%. Prabhupada said, "Begin the arti." That was the first thing Prabhupada said. He wanted to know. He wanted to make sure 50% was going to his book fund.